Since you're standing here, would it bother you if I asked you some questions from, remember I was telling you about Lindsay from the horserookie.com, she had emailed.
Horserookie.com? Oh,
yeah. And she has a blog that she does, and I told her that, you have kind of limited time. So she's really kind of focusing on kind of like the diverse group of equestrians and horse riders, and she wanted to know if you would answer some of these questions.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I looked it up a little bit. So it's like, I saw it's like for beginning riders and stuff, and then they had this section
have a lot of really good information.
On like minorities and stuff, right?
Yeah, and they have a lot of good information on
the diverse.
Well, it's trying to be politically correct.
Okay.
So she was like, I'm like, oh, he doesn't really have time to do, write a big column type thing, and she said, okay, well, would he be willing to do these?
Yeah, ask him. What's the question?
She was wondering, what are some tough lessons you needed to learn in your youth to become the rider, coach, competitor you are today?
Tough lessons I needed to learn. I'm in a competitive world training horses, and even just forget about just when you go and actually go to a judged event and you get a score or whatever in your first, second, third or whatever. Just every day is a competition really when I'm working with these horses on whether I get something done or I don't. And I learned pretty early, if you don't put the time in, you're not gonna get anywhere. Most everybody talks about it, but to be about it, it's a different thing. And I learned that early. I played sports as a kid, and then also with the riding. You go to the first couple horse shows and get your butt kicked, and you either can sit and complain, or you can get up and you can go do something about it, do what needs to be done. And that applies to everything. That's
one thing that I'm always like super impressed with you is like, we'll go to those horse shows and sometimes like it is like, and I try really hard not to be barn blind and think like, because I think I could be your toughest critic. The times that like I feel like, oh my gosh, you really did do so well, but didn't get marked the way that you should have. And you never give up on that.
Thing like with that too, I know what you're talking about. The thing with that, the way I look at it, and a lot of this, like I think my dad kind of taught me a long time ago. Now that I'm thinking back on it 30 years later, nobody is going to control how I feel about the job I did. As far as like my performance. Right. And the way I see it as a competitor, no matter what the reason is, no matter why the judge scored you, whatever they scored you, if I constantly am trying to improve myself, I'm always going to be in a good place. Mm-hmm. And if I feel like I'm improving, I've won. I know I'm my harshest critic, so I know if I've done well, gotten the most. Hey Maggie, stepping on my foot. If I got the most out of my horse, right, that the horse has. And it used to bother me. I score what I think was should have been a 72.
If it was bothering you though, or if it does bother you, you don't ever let me even know.
Well, I just put it into let's work harder and get better.
Yeah.
Be so good that it's just undeniable. And then for me personally, of course, I want to win. I want to fill up that lounge with trophies as much as I can. But I know, even like I've had some runs where I've won and I've walked out. And I thought, man, that is not like what I prepared for. It didn't go, and that to me is what drives me to come out the next day and keep working.
I know, I'm just telling you that I'm impressed how you are able to do that.
Well, thank you. Man, they're asking tough questions.
If you could give your rookie self 3 pieces of advice, what would they be and why?
I would say...
You partially kind of answered it in the last question, sort of.
I'd say your wife, just agree that she's right, even if you don't think she is, because it's a lot easier and smoother.
But your wife always is. No.
No, I think for sure, number one, be patient. I'd say, look, be patient, stay the course, keep working hard. No matter how bad you think you can do something to alter your course, some things just take time. And people told me that early on, and I didn't really believe it, but it really is the case.
And I think too, like people do like to that is that you do have to be super patient. Because you even talked about that with yourself. Like you would get so impatient because you thought, oh, I just want this now.
You know, enjoy the journey too. That's another one. You know, enjoy the process, which I'm way better now about that. Right? You know, every day working with these horses, with what I do. You know, I mean, I don't really work. You know, it's a lot of hours, but I love doing this.
Yeah.
And so that'd be the biggest thing, you know, too. You know, which I did. Find something you have a passion for, and then work your butt off.
What's one thing you wish you would have known before choosing a professional riding career?
That I wasn't going to get rich.
I think you knew that.
I'm just joking.
I don't know. I don't know that there is anything, because like you love this so much.
Something I wish somebody would have told me. That's a tough one. I knew so early what I wanted to do. Like I was like 12 or 13 years old. You know, I honestly, I don't think so. I think everything's gone exactly the way it's supposed to. You know, I mean, there's gonna be ups and downs with everything, but I can't say enough. I enjoy what I do.
Yeah. I think that no matter what somebody did tell you, you were going to do this anyway. So it wouldn't have mattered if there was something that somebody told you. I don't know that your mom and dad, maybe not so much your mom, but your dad was probably not so keen on you doing this, and he wanted you to go to college, and
he had no clue what this whole world was like. You know, he's just thinking it's the local riding stable, and I'm going to be there giving, you know, pony rides to people.
Yeah.
For minimum wage for the rest of my life. You know, he didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know how many cool things I was going to get to do.
Are there any words of wisdom that you would have given your rookie self about becoming a role model for other riders of color?
I think the biggest thing, like with, you know, being a role model, is it's two things. Then the biggest one is lead by action. I'm a big believer in what are you doing? You know, not so much what are you saying, what are you doing? And, you know, the way you carry yourself, nobody's perfect, nobody expects you to be, but the way, you know, the way you handle yourself and how you carry yourself is big. And the other thing is just being available. You know, that, you know, somebody has a question, we try hard to really try to be available for others, that they, you know, you got a question you want to ask, I'll try to help you. The one big thing though that I get question-wise, you know, or really it almost ends up being statements, is I've had guys come out here that I've given opportunities to come out, and you know, it's like there's a sense of entitlement, like people feel like somebody owes you something. Like, I'm here to tell you, you know, and for me, my dad's black, my mom's white, so really it's like 50-50 for me. I'm like right in the middle.
But you're always considered in our world, and really, that you are black.
Yeah, which that's fine too. That's fine too. Doesn't matter to me. Whatever. You know, I grew up with everything. But what I'm saying is, I see that, I get that vibe from a lot of guys that they're like, man, you're lucky.
Right.
You're lucky.
Yes.
You are.
I've heard him say it to you.
You're so lucky that somebody gave you a break. I'm like, listen, there's no luck involved in that. You got to work your butt off, and you got to set yourself up for opportunities. And that attitude, right out of the gate, to me is why a lot of guys aren't getting, and girls aren't getting to where they want to go.
If you could do it all over again, what's the one thing you'd choose to repeat and the one thing you'd choose to change?
If I could do it all over again, I would repeat marrying Karen Mills.
Oh my God, I was thinking the same exact thing. I was just gonna say that.
That's true. And what I would change? Man, I don't know.
I don't think. Well,
I don't like to live.
I know I'm answering for you.
I don't like to live looking over my shoulder. I don't think I'd change anything. You know, I'd say maybe some of those horses that I would try so hard to have them turn out, that maybe I would give up a little sooner and get.
You don't have that in you.
I'm not going to do it just because that's just not in me. I want to try to get them all as good as I can, and if I think that they've got it, I'm going to try hard to get it out of them, try to figure out a way. So I don't think I would change anything.
I wouldn't change anything. I think all the hard work and all the people that the good and bad that we've had has gotten us to where we're at. All right, that was all they had. I think it's great though that she's doing this.
So you're going to send them that video?
Yeah.
Whoa, come here, Maggie. I don't think I'm gonna get on her right now. Do you want to get on her? Here's the classic tongue out. This is gonna be her
That's gonna be
trademark.
her signature.
Yeah.
Signature deal there.
You see Maggie coming with her tongue out? Look out.